All right, we got the car washed, and lo and behold, Texas weather, it rained on us. We did Uber, did about 3 trips as we awaited our VA appointment. We got an appointment at 2:30. We're expected to now arrive at Michael Lee Debakey around 2:11-ish. So we just turned off the Uber app. We could do this all day, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely serious. Watching FSD work is exciting to me. And going to the various different locations that I just would not normally go to, it is crazy how good FSD is. I should not be surprised that Tesla had a launch in Austin of their Robotaxi and it went off without a hitch. You know, no major concerns for sure, right? There's always going to be speculation, and my car does some, it's thinking, right? It's constantly thinking about what it should do next. I give it a little grace because, ladies and gentlemen, after I got my car washed, I conscientiously drove to the supercharger on Derry Ashford, Westheimer and Derry Ashford. I tell you, driving is not fun for me anymore. I don't even like to think about my blind spots. I don't, other crazy drivers. It is insane to drive. Whereas when you turn on FSD, I feel a warm calm come over me, right? I know it's gonna keep its lane centered. I know it's gonna put its blinkers on. I know it's gonna make sure that if it does try to switch lanes, it's not gonna run into anything. Now, I can't do anything about the anxious drivers that surround me, the distracted drivers that are around me, the tired, maybe even inebriated. I mean, we have 40,000 plus deaths on US highways for a reason. So let me make sure my cameras are still on. Yeah, everything's still on. But we had a quick trip. Chewbacca is still at the daycare. I'll do my appointment. I might do a few rides. I haven't decided yet. I still got to do some uploading of some videos and clearing out some videos. So I very well, after the appointment, could just go straight home. I'll keep the film on for that as well. Take some of the footage off of these cameras and try to upload them as best as I can. Pick Chewbacca up and then call it a night. I'm not a Uber night driver. Doing these drives during the day, that's good enough for me. That's absolutely good. Until Tesla decides to send its Robotaxi to Houston. And I mean, I'll still do Uber, right? I'll still, until Tesla allows me to put my vehicle on the network, I'm gonna still do Uber. So who knows? That they said by the end of the year, but let's say it's sometime this year when I'm able to put my vehicle onto the network. Not saying that Elon Musk isn't going to deliver, but it's not a matter of if he delivers, simply when. So I give myself a little time. I think I can easily make this money with Uber, this easy money with Uber, for another year. That would be ideal as well. Like, I mean, ideally, I would like to put my vehicle on the network and get compensated in that way. But Tesla's got a lot of things to iron out. The logistics that are going on in Austin, talking about rapid expansion. I mean, that's their words, not mine, right? It's going to start off as a slight trickle, and then they're going to open the floodgates. I fully expect that to entail most of the Austin city limits, if not the entire Austin metro area, within short order. Then they're on they're on I-35. You know, no driver in the driver's seat, testing. They're going to do highways. I would love to see them to take the entire I-35 corridor and knock off every city that's on an exit on I-35. That would be amazing. So we're gonna get to Michael Lee Debakey well within time. I don't need to put on hurry mode. I think I have tolls turned back on. Let's double check. Yeah, we're good. So we can get there as fast. Had one Uber rider today like specifically request, please no tolls, right? Because I imagine those costs are being passed on to the consumer. I tend to forget. Like, I already I wish there was a way I could have them pass those tolls on to me, because I'd rather just get the job done. Like, if I had to pay the tolls, there should be something with Uber that allows me to pay their tolls, but I guess that would be disastrous for other Uber drivers. I could see that being a problem. Anyway, you know, I'm new to this ride-hail stuff. So is Tesla. They're knocking out things, learning things as they go, making the service better. You know, they started off with a small sample size. There is a reason for that. Not only is that small sample size going to enjoy watching Tesla flourish, they're also going to give them their 2 cents. Their feedback is essential because they're invested in the company's success. They want to see the company succeed, so they're not going to just tell them that it's great when it's in actuality a turd. Nobody wants a turd. So if it's good for them, then Tesla can start opening it up to the public. They want to get a nice sample size of those that love the company. What can we do to make this better, efficient? What can we do so that when the average consumer of ride hail, you know, my 3 rides today was a guy going to lunch, a young lady going to work, and a mom and her son going to a friend's pool or something of that nature, right? What can we do to make sure that these individuals have the best experience possible? Because with me sitting here, I mean, of course, I'm probably better than the average Uber driver. You know, I got a, you know, inflated sense of self-worth, so I think I'm better than the average Uber. But what's better than the average Uber? No driver in this seat where they can be comfortable. They can watch movies. They can listen to the type of music that they want to listen to, right? They can do whatever they want without fear of judgment. That's what we want from our Tesla Robotaxi. And we want it to penetrate areas other than downtown of these major metropolises, right? So that'll be revolutionary, transformational, going from suburb to suburb. You know, the greater Houston area, the greater Houston area is absolutely massive. If we're just confined to the 610 loop, that would, you know, starting there is fine, but we got to get out to the outskirts, right? North side, east side, west side. It's all Houston, and our people need to go all over this great city, and so too in Austin. No slack, but the beginning of this is so inspirational. Like watching, I mean, I use FSD every day, so I kind of know what it can and can't do. But to see it live, that they are so confident in this thing's safety, that they're willing to let people in the back seat, the user, the app that they have, the UI in the car, this stuff will get more intuitive. And already the people that are in Austin say it's amazing. This is only the beginning. It's only going to get better. This is a fledgling product from a company that's not supposed to be doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Name another car company that is creating autonomy that you can own. I'll wait. Anyway, you got Toyota trying to partner with Waymo. Waymo's not even a scalable option. You got to outfit all of those cars with dozens of expensive sensors, and they're just not, it's not viable, right? This thing is coming out of the Texas Gigafactory. Well, this car itself isn't, right? This is the Model 3 in Texas, the Gigafactory is kicking out Cybertrucks and Model Ys at a high rate of speed. But even then, every one of those vehicles are outfitted with FSD, potentially being a Robotaxi, just like the ones that they're using in Austin right now. Those are standard issue Model Ys. This car more than likely came from Fremont, where Fremont is kicking out Ys, 3s. Well, who knows what they're kicking out right now, because they've got, all right, we got to pay attention. I'll keep that thought. So we're slowing down. We're looking at what's going on. There's no left turn up here. We've got school buses. We've got a lot of construction. And my Spidey sense was up. Is it going to remain up? Are we going to take the right lane here? We do. We're in the right area of where we would need to be. Our AI student driver is handling this with incredible precision. I'm here supervising, and it's telling me to relax, mofo. We got this, and I can't believe it. Thank you so much, Tesla AI team. Back to what I was saying. Who knows what Fremont's doing right now, because there's supposed to be some new, more affordable models on the way. I don't know what those are going to look like. They've got some vehicles that are camouflaged a little bit, running around that area. And with that being said, that could be the new Model Y Performance. Who knows? It looks eerily similar to a Model Y. Whatever it is, if they're cheaper, more people will be able to afford it. As long as they're able to do FSD, I could care less. FSD is the most important thing that Tesla can do, and every vehicle they produce, semi on down, needs to have this autonomous capability. That's where the money is, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is indeed computer. Anyway, I love this company. I am excited from what I've been seeing. I want to go down there to Austin, but I want my first Robotaxi ride to be with my wife. I love Omar to death. Omar said he'll take anybody that wants it. There's so many people down there, so many great influencers of TSLA, of the company Tesla, that there's people out there holding up signs saying, can I get a ride in a Tesla Robotaxi? Those people aren't even from this country, and they're pilgrimaging to Austin. And I've been to Austin, looked around, did the tourist thing, kind of know what South Congress is, and you know, 6th Street, I've been when I was younger, but you know, things change. If you know, it's been over 20 years since I've been to Austin, pretty much. I mean, I've been, but never really for any particular reason, like driving through. I think Yoshi and I went to the Alamo Draft House to watch a movie, but we didn't go to, we went to Austin because it was the closest one, but it wasn't like we were going to Austin. The other time I was doing some nerdy card game stuff, and one of the tournaments was held in Austin, but it was in the outskirts, very far away from anything that you would want to typically do in Austin. So I'm familiar with Austin, but not in the sense where I, you know, travel South Congress quite a bit and the surrounding areas. But we got to do that finally, and Yosh changed her opinion on the great city of Austin. It's weird, and I kind of like it like that, you know. It's a great place, and it's only 2 hours away. I have a feeling once I get access and the service isn't available here in Houston, I'll find myself in Austin quite a bit. I can even do some Uber up there in Austin, as JC has so elegantly done, as he's been able to enjoy the launch of the Robotaxi, one of the first riders to ride in a Robotaxi with Joe Tegmeyer, I do believe, responsible for getting us those drone shots of Giga Austin. There's so much information coming from Joe. These guys are staples of the Tesla community, along with so many others that were there to commemorate this grand occasion. It's not my time. I want my first Robotaxi ride to be with my wife. She wants to experience it as well. And, you know, she's got her own little brokerage account. She's investing in Tesla little by little, but every little bit counts. She's an investor. She should experience what, I mean, she owns the vehicles. The solar panels and power walls protect the home. We're a Tesla family, as much as she might not. Yeah, she's Japanese. So just like America, Japan, and Europe, the car industry is kind of what formed these countries into the financial economic powerhouses that they'd become. And there's a lot of pride in Japanese auto. So when she went from the Honda to the Model X, I don't think she did that all willy-nilly. Like, the car was that good. And now she can see it using FSD, knowing that no other car company can do it quite like. I had a writer today saying, don't Hondas do this? I was like, ain't no Honda doing what Tesla's doing. Whatever that, every car company has some type of lane assist, level 2s. There's level 2s to a degree, depending on the road status and conditions. But I think that writer soon realized that nobody's doing it like Elon Musk. He's like, I don't really like Elon, but this car is amazing. And I was like, you're 100% correct on that. Yeah, I can't argue whether or not people like the man, the myth, the legend, Elon Musk. He's an accomplished individual. I harbor no super positive feelings. Like, I admire success. I admire ingenuity, tenacity. I admire these traits in everyone. Elon just has a huge helping of them, right? It's just amazing when people tell him no. He's like, well, that's not what physics says I can do, so let me give it a whirl. Let us, as he attracts so many people to his orbit that are willing to pay the cost to be the boss. You know what I mean? I can respect that. So I have tremendous amounts of respect for Elon. But I do get it. Some people, myself included, I'm not a huge fan of all of the politics, right? And how we go about it, right? But that's every individual. Everybody's got a different tolerance for what they can and cannot accept. There'll be individuals like my neighbor that'll never buy a Tesla. By all means, do what you got to do, bro. I'm not here to convince you one way or the other. Like, if you don't see the benefit, I can't force you to see it. All I can do is show it to you, explain it to you, and if you really want, I can give you a ride in it, just like all of the Uber passengers. I can give you what you require, but I can't give you what you want. I can't make Elon do things to make you happy. You know, I can't do. All I know is that the technology is absolutely remarkable, and I think everybody would want to be in the safest vehicle known to man. I think everybody would want the luxury of this technology, not having to drive, being just carefree. Eventually this thing's gonna get so good, they're gonna push us an update that says, all right, in these conditions, you don't really have to worry about paying attention. Feel free to scroll your phone, or, you know, I don't know if they'll activate the movie in the front seat here and on the big monitor, but they're gonna be able to do some things when they have the absolute utmost confidence in the regions like, say, Austin. Austin's going to be at the forefront of people that are in that location with their own personal Teslas. It's going to get to a point where it's like, if these can do it, why can't mine do it, right? Especially if you bought a Model Y and you live in Austin. The question will arise, like, can I do this too? And, you know, I think everybody's going to want their own personal autonomy that can legitimately afford it, right? Those that can't afford it, I think they're giving out rides for $4.20, but that's promotional, a little tongue-in-cheek, if you know what I mean. So it's all it's all circumstantial, right? And it'll all depend on demand. So I see the demand for the vehicles skyrocketing. faster than Tesla can build factories. Right now they've got a capacity of somewhere around 4 million, I think 4 to 5 million if they were to just kick everything into high gear. Unfortunately, the price would probably kick up faster than they can dole out factories. But either way, price of the vehicles, demand for the vehicles, I foresee all of that going up. The demand for the Robotaxi, the convenience factor, the privacy, and lo and behold, the price. They're not going to stay at $4.20, but given their ability to kick out as many of these Robotaxis as they see fit, I bet you they'll be able to modulate the price and keep it, I wouldn't say significantly undercut Uber, Lyft, Waymo, and whoever else decides to play this game. They're not going to severely undercut them. That's my prediction. But they will indeed be cheaper. Like, that I have no doubt about. And that goes for Austin and any other area of any other locale that they find themselves in. What we on, mate? Oh, your boy used to live over here. Look how it's changed. That's Slim Chickens. That used to be a Carl's Jr. This Specs was not here when we left. That's a beautiful place. It might have been at the tail end. The very tail end, I think that Specs showed up. There's a Beyonce concert on the 28th and the 29th. I probably should be Ubering for that. No? We'll see what it looks like. If I'm not in Austin, hopefully I can get Beyonce Schmiance, if I can get an invite to the Tesla Robotaxi app. This is not much I would not do. I used to charge my car at the Holiday Inn Express when I had my condo. Back then, nobody really had a lot of Teslas, so I don't think they minded too much. Now it'd probably be a big deal. They might tow my car if they catch me charging for a few hours there now. But that was back in 2020-ish. We got NRG Stadium to our right. This used to be home for about 5 years or so until we moved out to the suburbs. You know, when we're going to these concerts and these games, it'd be nice. You know, I imagine our Robotaxis are going to be able to go to these rideshare lots. They're gonna have to really navigate that properly to capitalize on that. And the same goes with airports. You want to be able to have a Robotaxi go to the airport, period. But to do that, you gotta adhere to order and decorum, and that would be knowing that things may change, right? But having a general idea of where you need to be to pick up potential customers. That's it's gonna be an interesting thing. But Tesla has gotten started here in the great state of Texas. Their expansion is inevitable and will be glorious, to say the least. So we are approximately 7 minutes from our drive, depending on traffic. We're gonna go to our appointment, and then I think we're gonna head back to the cribbo and upload some of these videos. We're getting a little stacked up, so we'll do that. I really ain't got too much for you. We'll just ride and chill. You know, I'm excited. The harder the bears try to poke holes in Tesla's transformation, the funnier it is. The more I feel like I need to buy more shares. I think we had a retraction today from around 355 or so in the after hours. I want to say somewhere around 342-ish. We haven't met my criteria to buy more shares. Try to do it as responsibly as we can. I do 4% days when it's down, so if it's down for 4% plus on a day, or if it's down more than 8% in a week, your boy is buying more TSLA at the next available, you know, whenever he can, when those criteria are met. So the Bears do not, their arguments are, they're grasping at straws at best, and they're disingenuous at worst. It's hard because what they say sounds right. It just sounds right. But I imagine the Bears of Apple and Amazon back in the early teens of the 2000s, late 2000s, right? I bet the Bears were sounding real smart. Unfortunately, they probably missed the boat as well when it comes to investing in Apple at an early time, or Amazon, because they couldn't see the transformation at hand. Just like Tesla, they can't see the transformation of this automotive company. This is a artificial intelligence company that happens to be the best at manufacturing on the planet, period. And I don't know what that's worth. It's got to be worth something. The Tesla AI team has proven that they can pivot. They're developing Optimus at a high rate, faster than most people probably would have given them credit for. At the same time, they've also launched a Robotaxi service in the city of Austin. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a normal automotive company to me. So, manufacturing, software, the ingenuity, they've got supercharging on lock, their energy mega packs doing incredible things. Some construction going on here. Spidey sense was a little higher, but we're all good. Let's see what else we got. You know, little things, but the Bears want to tear down Tesla for any various number of reasons, right? The stock price might be high, but the multiple, when you're talking about the fundamentals, all of this screams to them that this is not right? This is a grand opportunity for them to watch the stock price fall. It's kind of like betting the do not pass line on the craps table. Everybody that's throwing the dice, because only the players throw the dice. The casino, the house isn't trying to win, right? The smart thing to do, because the house always wins, right? The smart thing to do is to bet with the house. So betting on the do not pass, meaning that the potential roller, the player, they're gonna crap out. However, being smart does not necessarily mean being smart, because I have to drive now. It wanted to take us to the front door of the hospital there. Anyway, being smart won't make you popular in this scenario. Imagine being at the crap table and, you know, you're rooting for the players to lose. Yeah, that's not, this is going to be crazy. Oh, man. Too many cars are actually looking for parking spots. We're just gonna wait.